Chattisfying.
Yeah, wicked. Right. Well, the topic of the stream today is all about overlays and production values. Normally we just sort of dive right into it, but I kind of want to introduce this a little bit. The reason why I wanted to talk about this with AK. I think that AK is honestly someone who's got really high production value. He puts a lot of effort in, and this is kind of one of the things that I kind of didn't mention earlier because I wanted to mention it now. You say about the first D&D thing that you did,
Yeah.
and you streamed a thing where you edited together this like introduction.
Yeah,
Do you remember this?
I do remember.
It was like
I was
this 5 minute
cringing on the other
introduction.
side when I played it.
Yeah, it was like 5 minute introduction, and where you sort of did like a bit of like the game master in Atmosphere, if anyone's ever played
Yeah.
that, where you were like,
Mhm.
oh, welcome to the world and all this kind of thing, and it was fucking brilliant, right?
Yeah.
And you put so much effort into it, and you could kind of tell that you put that much effort into your stream as well. And you clearly do. Like, you watch the stream, you've got this this thing that this video that you play at the end, pretty much every stream, and it's what, about 3 minutes long.
Yeah, 3-4 minutes long, I think.
Yeah.
Probably too long. But
That must have taken you ages to make, mate. It's got music. There's a like, whole montage of clips. It's really well
Yeah.
put together. But there's other stuff as well. Like I think you've got one you used to play during a raid. I'm not sure if you still do. Is that right?
I sometimes play it during a raid. Yeah.
Is it the same one?
Which is a whole OBS scene.
Yeah.
It's like is it a carnival type thing that plays?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
And just all this kind of thing. You've got obviously the whole clown act, and you've got the although it doesn't work so well anymore. You've got the the Snapchat faces, and you've got the voices and all the voice changes and all this kind of thing. You clearly put a lot of effort in, and you during the winter you put all of the makeup on and all this kind of thing. That must take such a huge amount of effort. Why did you do it?
It has, I guess.
Why did you do it? And I think that it's an attention to detail, isn't it?
It's when I've tried to do my stream, if I've tried to, I've tried to make it best quality as possible. Like I recently got a VR headset, and the Oculus comes with a microphone,
Right.
and it is abysmal. It's horrendous. And just that little thing of having a really shit microphone quality, I was not happy with my stream.
Yeah.
And yeah, the small things like that, and then just trying to improve and find new ways to do stuff. I've sort of haven't done much at the moment, but trying to take inspiration from other people and then flipping it on its head and turning it into a clown kind of thing. The Stream Deck is incredible. It unlocks a whole new layer of stuff if you really dive into it, because you can do the multi-action button stuff, which can open and close scenes on timers and stuff, and have like 15 different actions that it can do just by pushing it once.
Yeah.
And that's what I've dove into, and I've really enjoyed doing that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's quite clear that you put a lot of sort of background effort in. I think you touched on something there. It's important. Obviously, audio is so important.
It is.
There's so much it can't be understated, because there's lots of people, especially for things like this, but even like a stream where you're playing a game, a lot of people will have it where they're lurking, but they're doing something else. So really, they're really only hearing the stream, not so much actually watching. So it's more important to have a good audio experience than it is to have a good visual experience. Although obviously both is best.
One of the biggest things that helped improve my stream with the clown voices and stuff, because I had voice mod and it was shit. I thought it was good at the time. It was really bad, and I needed this Go XLR for the voices and stuff. So,
did you use anything like Voice Meter Banana before that, or
improving the stream as well?
Sorry.
I've spent a fair amount of money on improving the stream as well. So,
well, you can kind of
yeah,
you can see what you got in your background then. How do you make the lights show and all?
I bought one of those Stargazer things.
Oh yeah.
So it's a little thing that sits under my PC table, and it just does a star thing. That's one of my recent purchases, because I like RGB lights.
Yeah.
I love them. I don't know why. They're just shiny and red and lovely. But you can have like different colors and stuff. And then I've got lights that run around the bottom of my floor and on my bookcase here, which seems to give a red on that one. So yeah, lights.
Amazing.
But on the bookshelf behind me is all my D&D stuff, mostly.
It's a
Okay.
bit, yeah,
You
it's a bit
see,
far away, isn't it?
there's a
But
League of Legends thing there as well, with a Jinx on top. But you've got Curse of Strahd on top, which is like a revamped, pun intended, um source book and stuff. Which that's the one I'm running at the moment online. So that's like a big coffin shaped D&D thing.
Okay.
And then I've got all my books down here on the left, I guess, and a few Dragon Ball Z figures.
nice. You a big fan of anime then?
Only Dragon Ball Z.
No, then.
I can't get into any other anime. I've tried.
Yeah, fair enough.
And I've got all my clown stuff on this shelf here as well. It's just not enough room in this room, basically.
Yeah, I know that feeling. So now that we've kind of qualified, the reason why we're quite keen to talk to you about this. What are your thoughts, sort of your general thoughts on it? It's quite a wide topic, obviously, on overlays and production value, like how important they are, like any advice you would give anyone, that kind of thing.
Advice. I think production value is quite important, but I think also it does matter what kind of person you are, personality, so forth and so on.
Yeah.
If you're born as tits, if you've got the best production value available, then that also doesn't help. So I think it's a mixture of things. If you don't want to stream with a cam on, don't stream with a cam on.
Hmm.
I think you have to be comfortable with yourself before you start messing around with other things. I think I'm not sure if there's really any proper advice I can give.
Hmm.
But just have fun. If you're new to streaming, just have fun, enjoy it. I think it's important. Like some people, there's been questions about alerts and things. For me, I like the alerts. It sort of tells you when somebody's followed, so forth and so on, and overlays. I like little, I guess, like a notification, like somebody's followed, and then it's sort of acknowledged, I suppose. Just I don't know. There's a few things that are needed, but also sometimes not. I don't know if that makes any sense. I don't know what I just said to you, to be honest.
Would you say that you enjoy doing all the background, like tinkering to make it better?
Yeah, I do, because I like figuring out problems. Like, how do I make this happen? And then
Right.
I do everything I can to make it happen.
Yeah, fair enough. You got any more sort of pearls of wisdom or anything else that you've got sort of really to say on
Yeah,
it?
well, we didn't ever really give any pearls of wisdom, did we?
What about overlays?
Overlays could be nice. I think it depends what kind of overlay you're going for. Everybody's got a different style. So, like a little cam overlay sort of helps with maybe a few bits and pieces on it.
Yeah.
Can look nice.
Yeah.
I just trying to not cover up all your screen basically is kind of nice.
Yeah, there's a whole
Have a
thing
little
about
spread
thirds,
out.
isn't there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure. Just have fun. Like, yeah, that's my what. Just enjoy it. I
Yeah.
guess it's a journey for yourself and almost discovering yourself at the same time. So yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. It definitely is a journey. That's for sure. It's quite. It can be quite a long one. I mean, obviously, sometimes you do get some people that are quite successful, and in a way, it feels like the journey is shorter for them. But there's so
Yeah.
many people there that sort of just quite happy doing what they do. And
Yeah.
I mean,
And everybody grows at different rates.
exactly. I mean, I think it definitely helps if you enjoy all the little background chinkering things. I think pretty much all of the streamers that I hang out with do.
Yeah.
It's so much fun, just sort of like you say, sort of sitting there and just making some sort of iterative improvement every single stream, and it's so amazing, especially when every now and then you sort of go back and see something that you made a while ago, and it just feels like such a long time ago, and like everything
Yeah.
is different, and you're like, wow, I was shit back
Yeah.
then. you know?
Like going from my first overlays to now. I also had a green screen at one point. I still do, but I was having problems with the camera technology again. It wasn't green screening properly.
Yeah.
And the camera kept freezing. But yeah, you sort of go back to then and now it's definitely different.
Yeah, for sure.
Eye opening.
I do think that the environment's a little bit like, if you what you are looking for is to grow, the environment's a lot more competitive now than it used to be.
Yeah.
I think like sort of what viewers are looking for is a little bit more higher quality. Like I think the expectation of the viewers has actually gone up quite significantly, especially in the last sort of couple of years. So it is hard to say because like you do sometimes you go into a stream and like you say, like AK, it's not just about the production quality, it's about the personality as well. And
Mm.
it's a balance, because if it's all personality and there's like no production value, then then maybe that you're not going to enjoy that, because it's like production value goes into actually making sure that things work as well. And I mean, there is a certain amount of patience that people will have, for example, for I'll just hang on a minute, this isn't working. But people aren't going to stay indefinitely while faff around with technical issues and all this kind of thing.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, production value goes in like so much more into than that. But then, like you say, you've got like amazing production value, but you've got like no presence. Then that's going to be an issue as well,
Yeah.
especially as the whole production value thing gets easier for people to do. Because obviously you've got all of these sort of YouTubers that literally their career now is providing advice on streamers on how to basically improve, and a lot of the actionable stuff that people will be like, oh, I could do that. That's
Yeah.
that's the production quality stuff, because a lot of the stuff that's more about the personality is a lot harder to fix and sort of do it yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because
No,
they'll
yeah.
be like, oh, you need to do this, you need to do this, but actually actioning that as a person is a lot more difficult than be like, oh, I can do this with my overlay, I can change my audio levels, all this kind of thing. So generally speaking, like that's so the quality, the production value, the quality of streams in general, I think as a whole is definitely going up a lot, like in the last couple of years. Partially because of these YouTubers that have basically been like, hey, you can do it this way, and there's a lot of free shared resources that you can
Yeah.
get now. Like a good example of this is the whole Stream Beats thing, which is obviously the free music. But there's huge amounts of like free overlays that you can get, and there's videos that tell you exactly how to like set up your audio and all this kind of thing. But at the same time, it is nice to it's nice to go into a stream that clearly has had thought of these things. So it's kind of becoming a bit more like the baseline, if you know
Yeah.
what I mean. It's becoming a bit more like expected, and like I think a lot more people will dip from people that haven't sort of done that. Due diligence, it seems like a word that's coming to my head, but it just makes it sound like work. But
Yeah.
you know,
I think with most things though, it is there's like especially if you're starting out streaming, there's like a checklist of things you kind of need to set up as such. You obviously need to get the OBS and the right OBS type to fit you. For example, I use Stream Elements OBS because it's better for me to get my analytics on the sides, whereas Lobs back in the day was okay, and I used to use it, but it kind of was a bit chunky and stuff like that. And you had predecessors before then, so you got that checklist bit done, and you have to set up what scene types you want. Do you want a starting screen? Do you want the end screen bits? How do you want to present it and stuff like that? And I think there is always going to be some prerequisites when you're coming into this field as such, But I also think now that streaming is now more popular than it ever has been, those access to things are a lot easier to obtain as well. Like when I first started, getting an overlay, you would generally have to pay for it or snipe it off of Google or something and try and make it yourself or something like that. It's very limited. Whereas there's a lot of free
and they always
ones
looked awful,
now.
didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's all free. You can get them for free, or you can get the modular packs that you see advertised on certain people's YouTube channels and stuff like that. Which, as modular as they are, they still look pretty much the same as most people. And I think the issue I see with overlays nowadays is quite a lot of people are more so generic, like the Fiverr-esque style of logo, which is like every esports team logo you've ever seen in your life that a lot of people tend to use, but they probably play, I don't know, some like Kitty Village thing or some shit like that. I don't know, He knows games. I promise I'm a gamer. I know game names. Yes. But they've got the hardcore logo that they've paid like 20 quid for or something on Fiverr and stuff like that. And that seems to be the wrong style of prerequisite, in my opinion, that people are going down. A lot of people seem to be guided that way. Whereas, my logo is just a fat hippo a mate drew for me, and I took the name on because I'm a fat hippo, and I like that, and it's been stuck with me ever since. So much so that one of my viewers made me a hippo.
That is adorable.
Right?
That's cool.
Yeah, which was a really, really nice, like, fan gift thing. I hate saying fans because it just irritates me. But yeah, and stuff like that. But I think, like, AKI, I don't know what your logo is, but I assume it's something clown-esque.
It
Would you
recently
make...
got a revamp not too long ago, and I actually have a.
You haven't done an esports clown because I'd really be eating my own words now.
You'd have to have a look at it and make that decision for yourself. I don't think it's esports. It's just a clown.
Yeah,
It was.
but I think that most people tend to be going, or most newer people, or feel like it's the trend to go that kind of way, get the templated things, and you know, and grab this, grab that, grab this. I don't get me wrong, I'm templated with the plug in the big doodad in the microphone at the moment with the blue snowball, you know.
Yeah.
But I've had this for years, and I use this a C920 camera, which I've used for years and stuff like that. But they seem to be now the static norm for a lot of people to go into, or like whatever, like a Harris Heller style YouTuber says to do kind of thing. And I feel like that ruins the creativity of an overlay to a degree.
Yeah.
I think for me, I change my overlay every year, at a minimum once a year. This year I've gone for a purpley bluish kind of tinge. Last year I was very Command and Conquer nod style with the reds and stuff like that. That was my thing. Year before that, because I'm a big World of Warcraft boyo, I had a very Horde-esque style thing. Before then I was bubblegum pink.
I think
because
that was the synthwave one, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The bubblegum pink one.
Yeah.
And
I change it every year at least, but then I also do, like, on special occasions, Halloween, I'll change it and do some, like, you know, cobwebs and stuff like that, and do extra images here and there that I've again sniped from Google because I can't be bothered to draw it myself or pay someone to do it because I'm cheap. And then, you know, Christmas time, although I do 2 Christmases normally. I do a Christmas in July and I do a Christmas at Christmas.
I love that.
So the Christmas in July, I will get up in my Santa outfit and stuff like that, and I'll dress up, and we used to be able to play Christmas music, but now it's going to have to be like copyright-free-esque style of Christmas music, which is fine. I can still sing the lyrics, as I'm tone deaf, so I can sing the lyrics and not get in trouble for it.
Quite a lot of the older Christmas music's probably not copyrighted anymore. I mean, Jingle Bells will definitely be post-copyright by now.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true, but it's not Wham though, is it? You know what I'm saying?
Well, no, I mean Wham's still going to be copyrighted. But...
yeah, it's not the darkness and all that kind of stuff with their Christmas music, but it's still like I still have the Christmas themed in July kind of thing. So I always like that, and it was something different I do. And like I said, Halloween I do things, Christmas in actual Christmas time I do as well. Valentine's Day I'll do something as well and change it up, but it'll be a different type of theme every year for them as well.
Yeah,
and I just like changing shit. Not like incrementally throughout the year. I'll be like, okay, it's January now. I'm set on doing it like this. I'm going to be stuck like this. And to be fair, I'm looking at my stuff I have at the moment. I'm kind of getting bored of it now. But luckily, I don't stream as often as I used to, so I can still kind of build up with it. But it's useful. It's set how I like it. I'm comfortable. But I find when I change my overlay, I'm not used to the settings I've changed, because I'll do a whole new scene, so I can keep the old ones, like a whole new like profile as such on Stream Elements, and then I'll go back to them like, how the fuck did I work like this? What did this button do?
Because you improve every time, right? So every time you do it again, it's better than last time, right?
I think I preferred my Command and Conquer scene beforehand than this one at the moment. I still like this one. I'm all about, like, I'm very neon-esque. I love RGBs and stuff like that. My chair RGB's up as well when I have it plugged in. It's that kind of sad RGB set. But,
I like that shit.
But I feel like I got my current overlay at the time when people were starting to pick up the purpley blues and stuff like that neon vibe, and I'm like, oh fuck, I just caught into the trend I didn't want to be a part of the trend. I was trying to be different, and I'm like, oh, I'm stuck with this for a year. But it's luckily, you know, I'm not that popular, so it's okay. But I've already got plans, and I've started jotting down what my next year's style is going to be, and it's going to be very, very different. I mean, last year I was very green screen heavy. The year before that, I had my table the other way around and behind. And I'll have to show you this AK afterwards, because I've got a Heath Ledger Joker just like your Jokers at the back.
Lovely.
And I bought it at a car boot sale in Cardiff for like 15 quid that he did for his girlfriend, and she dumped him, so he kept it and then sold it. And I was like, I'll have it. Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt. There's actually a really good Chattisfying highlight of that particular Joker painting, isn't there?
Yes, because Virtue took a picture of my background when I went for a pee, and then decided to green screen himself in my bedroom.
Yeah, it's my bedroom. It's my bedroom. So then Hippo was like, "Oh yeah, do this then," and he went and grabbed the Joker picture. So
Yeah, I brought
funny.
it out and everything like that. But I've changed things around all the time, and I've sometimes want to flaunt my geeky stuff out. Like I got a lot of Star Trek little mini figurine ships and stuff that I did because I was a sad act that paid that monthly buy this magazine, you get a free ship every other week kind of thing, and then realized that I spent hundreds down the. Annoyingly, right? One of my customers is the people who produce that shit now.
I bet he loves you.
And I do all the transportation for him, and I'm like, you fuckers, why don't I get this for free now? Come on.
Yeah. How much money I gave you?
Yeah, I ship your shit to Australia. Why are you not letting me have this stuff for free? Come
Give
on,
me a
it's not
discount.
fair. Yeah, but yeah, I change things up all the time, and
Cool.
I think there's two different types of people. There's three types of people. People who will be stuck on a template and that's it, and they think that'll do, which I think is shame because you should always freshen up and jiggle things around a little bit. You've got people who add things every so often, like you've got your lovely stars in the background, which I think is amazing, by the way. I absolutely love that. I think it's gorgeous. And it really goes off with the aesthetics of the colors and the glows in the background as well. So that's really nice. And then I think you've got people like me that just go, boom, this year I'm going to be like this. And do it like that. And I don't know. I mean, you do the snap filters and stuff like that. And I've always been intrigued by that kind of thing. But I think that's very much if it's within your branding to be able to do so. I know there was a lot of people back in the day used to have Mellar, we've talked about this before, the little pixel characters at the bottom of the screen when people join the chat rooms and stuff like that.
I used to use those. Moon still does.
Yeah, that's a certain type of people that would use that. Some people use the filters, some people use hot tubs, some people like me who will just they'll find a jiffy thing, however you wish to pronounce it, and have that as my one for follow, one for sub, la 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 la, and leave it like that. That I is literally not so much a focus for me to say yes, you're in. That's cool. That's a little feature that comes with it, so you might as well have it. But my main thing, someone follows, I will make a big fuss about it because it's rare that anybody sticks around long enough to hear my perversions anyway. Because they look at me and go, "We're to Yeti." And then they run away, and I don't know. I'm a fucking hippo. It says it on my channel name everywhere. You know what I'm saying? I'm a fucking hippo. Learn, people.
What game are you playing? It says in the title, dickhead.
In the title and underneath the title as well, in the category.
Playing Silent Hill, but you actually got Pokemon written in it. It's what throws them off. It's a lot of fun to do that.
Hey, hold on. Careful. I'm pretty sure it's against TOS.
I'm always tied between the camera and the green screen. I like the smooth look with the green screen. I pronounced that completely wrong. Green screen. But I also have fun with the clown stuff as well because I've spent not hours, but filming myself in front of a green screen, then implementing myself into my own stream as a clown, which I can't do with a webcam thing. And I love showing off my merch as well and the lights and things. So there's a thing that I did, which one of my viewers, there's a guy behind you, and I basically had myself sort of stand up behind myself while I'm sat down, and then just brandish a knife a little bit, and then just walk off slowly. Really creepy. It's in my starting soon screen. I kind of changed it up a little bit, and sort of made it glitchy and stuff. And this guy, one of my viewers was like, "There's a guy behind you." I was like, "What? What are you talking about?" And it was like genuine. He even clipped it and actually thought there was a dude behind me in a suit.
That's cool.
Show me a knife. And I can't do that with this, so I'm always tied between the two. I love that you can do a lot of things with the green screen, but I also love showing off the lights and this and that. And this kind of setup's kind of new actually behind me, so I mess around with things as well. I'm never always happy.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that does kind of go into the whole overlay thing that we're talking about, and I think that kind of is a bit of a sort of $1 million question. Sort of green screen or no green screen. There are some times when it's obvious what the answer is. For me, the obvious answer is green screen because what's behind me is fucking ugly. All right, but if you can get because it's a study more than a streaming room. It's where I stream, but there's just a bookcase behind it. Basically, it's not particularly nice to look at.
You got all your porn mags in there, haven't you?
Well.
You never showed up when I came to visit. That's rude. I want to see your porn mags.
Next time, Hippo.
You got a button and the bookcase just disappears into the wall.
It's like
opens up to his sex dungeon behind it and everything. You know,
Yeah,
it's gorgeous. He's
yeah.
got his Gimp's outfit just there, ready to rock with whips and everything.
Yeah,
And he's like,
yeah.
Isn't it
poor
Family
Meg
Guy
was
where
just a
he
start.
he goes through like 5 minutes of like checks and there's like eye thing and he goes past people and then there's like a thumb thing and it's just to get like one porn mag.
But I love the green screen.
Yeah.
It's fun. You can do a lot with it. Like I took inspiration from Halifax. He's a PUBG streamer,
Right.
but he basically took a picture of his hands holding a controller. He quite obviously plays with a mouse and keyboard,
Hmm.
but he's cut that out on Photoshop and put that up on the green screen, and he's made it look like somebody put. Some people will ask, "Are you playing on a keyboard, a mouse, or a controller?" And it sort of put the picture up of the image, and it would fit perfectly with his figure. And sort of, yeah, I'm using a controller. You just don't need to use the back buttons because that ruins it and stuff. And it's just hilarious. And I've kind of done that myself.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, you can't do that with the normal camera stuff.
Yeah,
But
because
yeah,
on your just chatting screen, there's actually an image of the back of your head, isn't there? And then
yes,
it's that your back. He's that version of you's looking into a mirror, and then the mirror is actually
Yeah.
your camera, which is genius. I love that.
yeah,
Oh, that's cool. Oh,
Yeah.
I like that.
that is cool.
Yeah, I really
Yeah.
like that. But so
I'll be
what?
honest, it is cool, and it was a lot of fun to do.
I just love the idea of you sort of sitting there like taking a picture of the back of your head.
Yes, I got the idea. I don't know if Becky came up with the idea or I did, but I wanted myself sat in a clown makeup room or like a movie star makeup room, whatever.
Yeah.
It would be clown really, and then various things around like a bookcase and like my name carved into with a knife on the desk.
Yeah.
And I had a friend do all the artwork and stuff and the animations, and then yeah, Becky came up, took a picture of the back of my head, and I sent it. It looks weird, but when it all comes together, it looks awesome.
Yeah, it looks really good. Honestly, it looks fantastic.
Yeah, I like, again, for the production value, I like pushing those boundaries, coming up with something new that nobody else has, sort of
Yeah.
thing, nobody thought of. And I think it's a lot of fun to come up with those ideas. Sometimes I wouldn't go to sleep because I'm trying to think of new things.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, a genuine tip for that. If you've got like all these ideas going through your head and you can't get to sleep, write them down.
Yeah, does it
you'll-
help?
Yeah,
I've heard that.
it
but
works
I've
really
never done
well. Yeah, because the reason why you can't fall asleep because you're like, oh, I'm gonna forget him, I'm gonna forget it, and then you write it down, and you fall straight asleep pretty much afterwards. It's
Oh,
amazing.
okay. But I can't read my handwriting. We discussed that earlier.
Oh,
I don't
yeah,
know what
well,
I'm saying.
That's an issue. I can't help you with that. Sorry, mate.
take Jesus to the shops? No, I don't know what that means. Like, what? It's a sight. Yeah.
But genuinely,
No, fair enough.
if you have a nice looking background like AK Insane, I think that if you can make it look right on the overlay as well, then actually having not having a green screen is superior to having a green screen. But in a lot of situations where what you've got behind you is like just the general minutiae of daily life, like
Yeah.
what I have, and like quite a lot of people have it in have their stream room is their bedroom. So what is behind them is their bed, which is not very interesting. So if that's all that's behind you, you may as well get a green screen, especially they're not very expensive. Obviously when you first start, maybe, but not. But
Yeah.
it should be
It's
something
the
that you
lighting that's a
consider.
pain in the ass, I've found.
Say again.
The lighting
Yeah.
and the chroma key, and it's
Yeah.
a pain in the dick.
It is a pain because
really
you can't
annoying.
really have a green screen without having additional lights.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you can get a green screen, it's definitely worth it. If you don't have an interesting background, but at the same time, if you can get a good, nice, interesting background, like your one AK Insane, and to be honest with you, Hippo, before you spun your computer around, then all the better. To be honest. I had somewhere I was going.
Although
with this,
thinking about it, right? If you wanted to do your green screen again and you got the lights working, the chroma key perfect, you could just record your background for a minute and then use the video footage as your green screen. That way, when you want to have your shiny things up, you can have that
Yeah.
up.
I have semi-done that when the bookcase was behind me. So on the chatting screen where I'm in the mirror, I took a picture with my phone from behind my monitor and had that as my background. So I had all my stuff up there with the lights, but I never thought about doing a video. Good idea.
Because you could just
Again,
loop that. Because obviously you got your stars are going at a certain formation, but they only go for a certain amount of time before it loops back around. So you just record that footage, and you've got that live feel about it still.
Yeah, it's a good idea. But again, I think I want to invest in a better camera because I was finding I did plug in an old DSLR camera that we weren't using, or camcorder, sorry, and it would just freeze every now and again. And I've had it's made for some funny content, but it's really a pain in the ass because I don't like it when things don't work as they should.
Yeah.
So it would just freeze on the image, and I had one where it froze. And you know those creepy paintings that the eyes follow you around?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
My face was legit frozen, and my eyes moved like left
Yeah.
and right. It was insane. I
That's
had
what I
no
was
idea
there,
what the
yeah.
hell was going on.
That was so weird.
But yeah, again, I need a new camera, so maybe it's something I need to invest in for the lighting.
Yeah, possibly, absolutely. I do think that there is a lot to be said for the whole green screen effect when you, especially when you're on the the actual game screen. I do think
Mm.
it looks very clean when it's a green
Yes,
screen, and
I agree.
it basically erases your surroundings, and I think that looks great. Just sort of from an overlay perspective, but just actually talking about overlays, it's quite interesting because through my time as a streamer, I feel like I've kind of changed my mind about overlays, because I used to be all about the overlay. Like when I very first started, I made my own overlay. It was bloody horrible. It looked gross. But then I started using the overlays that you could get from like Streamlabs and all this kind of thing.
Yeah.
And some of them are quite overbearing, to be honest. And I kind of got to the point where I was like, I kind of prefer a cleaner overlay, like just one that's just a little bit less loud, that's just not got very much on it. And I think there's a lot to be said for, like, when you're playing a video game, is just having the game and the webcam and on a green screen and having nothing. And I think that there's nothing necessarily wrong with that. You don't need all of this extra gumph that a lot of people do have. And I know that is rich for coming from me, from someone who used to use all that gumph.
Mm.
But I've kind of
I
changed
think
my
we all
mind
have
about
at
it.
some point.
Sorry?
I think we all have at some point. Like I think I've
Mm.
recently got rid of the sub goals and followers and stuff. Well, I think it was mostly the sub goals. I literally just have my logo, the clown, the camera.
Yeah.
Some sort of thing up in the corner so people like to see whether, I don't know, I think they like it when it shows their name when they've followed.
Yeah.
So they've followed and they see their name on the screen for a little bit. It's like a little couple of things up
Yeah,
in the
follow
corner. You
alert.
can hardly see it. And then a thing in the corner that not a lot of people catch, but when they see it, it scares the shit out of them. I've got Pennywise like peeling back the corner of my stream.
Oh, amazing.
And a lot of people don't notice it, but like, oh my god, I've just noticed the cloud up there. It's just like, but yeah, I think a cleaner look
Yeah.
does look nice. I've been on Fiverr and got overlays, and I don't think it helps with people constantly badgering you because they can make you an overlay. I've had somebody go out and make me an overlay, and I've not even agreed to it. It's
Right.
like, I don't stop. That's just weird.
Did they try and charge you for it?
I think so. Yeah, that'll be. No, I did not ask for an overlay. I'm good, thank you, sort of thing. And they don't seem to take no for an answer. These, not all artists, but
Yeah, fair enough.
it's just weird.
I suppose it's probably quite a, what's the word, like a cutthroat kind of industry. And in a similar way, I suppose, to streaming, if what you're in it for is the money. I mean, I kind of hope you're not, but some people are.
I'm in it for the money, absolutely. And that's why I've got all of this nice stuff. It's just money, money, money. No. Yeah, some people do go in for the money, and usually they fall on their ass flat pretty quickly and never stream ever again.
Yeah. So
They've not made a £1,000 in the first 3 weeks of streaming.
yeah,
But they're amazing at the game.
Yeah, they're amazing. They flake them pretty quickly.
But no, I mean, at the end of the day, like, I think I have seen people as well who are like starting, like they're about to start streaming, and they'll put like quite a lot of effort in, and it is nice. But you do get to a point where you kind of just want to turn around and say to them, just go live, like just have a go. Like you don't need to put like quite as much into it like at the start as you are. I think it is better to sort of sort out the basics, go live, and sort of get a little bit of a feel for things, and then add things as you go along. I think there's a lot to be said, because I think a lot of the most certainly not necessarily the most successful streamers, but the streamers I like to watch the most are the streamers that are improving their stream all the time, like little by little.
Yeah.
So they'll go live, they'll have a stream, and then they'll be like, oh, I can add this, I can add this. This is what I do as well, although I haven't had quite as much time as I would like recently to be doing the background stuff, but that's a completely different kind of thing. But on that subject, I think it's quite an interesting one. What would you guys say is the bare minimum before you actually hit the go live button?
To do before stream?
Yeah, the very first time you go
The
live.
very first time?
Make sure you got
I think-
stream key into Streamlabs would be a good start, I
Yeah.
think, because I've done that. My first time, I didn't even know how to do that and had to figure it out. It was confusing as hell.
Mm.
The settings are very important.
Yeah.
People that stream at 1080p that think that that's the best resolution to stream at,
Yeah.
is I've even done it myself, and you can't stream at 1080p because Twitch does not allow partnered streamers to stream at that because of the bitrate that they're allowed.
Yeah.
So a lot of people do the 936 now or whatever, but I think the settings are the most important part, and getting some sort of alerts, because I find it a bit crap when you follow somebody, no alert comes up or whatever, and it just shows no acknowledgement of anything that's
Yeah.
ever happened.
Yeah.
Like some sort of alert or whatever. Chat, get your chat up, settings, chat, alerts, and your labels, your stream labels. So you know that goes with the alerts, obviously, because then you know who's followed and stuff. I would say, because you can,
Yeah.
say thanks or whatever. I think it's
Absolutely.
almost the bare minimum, to be honest.
Yeah. What would you say then, Hippo? Anything to add to that?
When I first started and I got everything working, I actually recorded myself first.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is what I did, because I know. Well, I started on a laptop, I had the laptop microphone. I know it was going to be terrible, and I tested my laptop microphone compared to my headset microphone at the time and stuff like that to see which one was better. Also to see the angle was okay, because I mean you can see it on your stream window when you're doing the OBS stuff, which is fine, but I still think it's better when you've recorded it or you see it like as a playback of your own streams, because it looks different, which is a really weird thing to say because you can see it, but seeing it from a viewer's perspective at a bigger screen and without all the fuss on the sides and stuff like that and all your analytic bits and all that kind of stuff, just seeing it as is always a key thing to do. And I think you should definitely record yourself beforehand and see how you look. Sometimes I'm quite a very confident person in terms of talking to people anyway, and talking absolute bollocks on a stream anyway. My first night I was streaming, I was still just talking to myself and singing because I was going to say insane, but I am nowhere near as cool as you. So I'm just loco. I'm loco in Acapulco because I stayed too long. Is what I am. But I was confident in that. But then I think people because I still think starting streaming is a very good confidence booster for people.
It can be.
People who are very good with socializing in public might find it more comfortable and build themselves up better as a person in terms of like confidence wise by doing it on streaming, even with no cam starting off with. I'm a lot more vocal about things than I used to be. I used to be quite reserved, even though I'm quite confident in starting conversations and being a party animal if I need to be, or a subtle person if I need to be. I can judge those things fine, but being more vocal nowadays about not so much my opinions, but just general views on things and stuff like that has helped from streaming. I'm more comfortable talking to people on like Discords and doing these kind of things. Whereas I don't think, like, if I started streaming first right off the bat or didn't know streaming and somebody invited me to a podcast to discuss things, I'd be a lot less confident about it. But definitely recording yourself, viewing yourself, and you're gonna cringe. Everybody cringes at themselves. That's what we do. You're like, oh my god, why am I doing this? But I still think you can still tweak and then go live. Like, do you need a noise gate on your microphone? What is a noise gate? How do I get rid of that fuzz in the background? Why can you hear my fan? All this kind of stuff. And then you start Googling it and you can do it better. And I still think, and maybe that stuff will progress over time, but an initial, if I'm going to suggest to anyone, is definitely record yourself beforehand. See what you're doing and thinking, what can I do to improve? And then Google it.
Yeah,
that's a good tip.
I definitely agree with that. I think an even better reason to record yourself is because it's audio. Check the audio is like, again, the audio doesn't need to be perfect, but it needs to not be horrible to hear, kind of thing. And the problem is, especially when you very first stream, is you're not that likely to have people actually come in and tell you that there's an issue. And unless you've got some of the more expensive kind of equipment, you're not going to be able to tell that there's an issue because you're not going to be able to hear your own stream.
And annoyingly, if you've got a viewership, they won't tell you it's shit.
What's
for the
this
most
all
part.
about?
That's why I
played Diablo 3
I will always mention.
for 4 hours once with no game audio. It was just me again. Ooh, ah.
Yeah, but then
making
they'll go on
sounds
with
like
it.
some sort of crappy police academy guy. And it was just, why has nobody fucking told me?
Yeah, you like the optic. Like one of my mates who comes into my stream often, Bueno, he will quite happily make me look like a dick, which I'm happy with because at least it puts me in my place about stuff. But a majority of your viewerships, the general consensus is they enjoy who you are for what you do, and don't really notice the things that you would want to have in the stream or set correctly. You know, yeah, it's just stuff like that.
Absolutely.
I like honesty, and that's why I always give props to Angry Bruiser, because they always give me critical honesty and just tell me the truth. Because some people will be like, they beat around the bush and go, oh, yeah, you're doing great or whatever. Just tell me if it's shit. I need so I can fix it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Or whatever.
And
So
the thing
forth and
is,
so on. And I want to add one more tip to the thing is just don't have your viewer count up, because it will just mentally fuck you around. You just don't have your viewer. Look at it after stream. That's fine. Just don't have it up. Don't look how many viewers you got, because that will mentally affect how you stream. If you look at your viewer count and you're having a good stream and you look at it and there's 2 people watching, suddenly your mood is going to change and it will affect the rest of your stream and the mood of the stream. If you stream like you've got 6,000 viewers, Hairy Hippo was singing on his first stream all night or all day or whatever, and that is a great start. Comment on what's going on the screen and just carry on talking to yourself. Somebody will eventually strike up a conversation.
Felt like you got a mate next to you, like you're the mate that's playing the game and not watching the game.
Yeah.
Like as a kid, like we were talking about earlier. That's the key thing. Just vocalize what you're gonna do. You know, I'm gonna kick the shit out of that guy in Tekken, and I'm probably gonna die afterwards, but it's fine. But I'll try my best. And I shouldn't have clicked that button. Oh fuck! Oh man, I don't know this combo. Just vocalize it.
Yeah.
What's in your head? Say it out.
Absolutely.
Is what it is.
Absolutely.
Maybe not all the things, because you could probably get in trouble, but you know what I mean. Yeah.
But no, I would
Not
say.
really.
Sorry, go on.
Oh, yeah. Another one would be, I've got all these ideas that come to me now. Like now I've had time to think.
Yeah.
I'm not really one to say, but I do try to keep it. But a schedule is really important.
Yeah.
It's like your TV show of EastEnders. Not everybody will know that reference, but it's on at a certain time, and people will expect you to be live at that certain time, and they will make that room time slot for your stream to be live. So I think that's one of the key factors between the other couple of things that we've said as well.
That's actually one of the hardest ones to do out of all of the things that we've mentioned as well. Honestly, AK, and as someone I know yourself, you've got a kid, haven't you?
Who, me?
Yeah.
No.
Oh,
hell no.
All right.
Definitely not.
Well, I can speak
for money.
I can speak for myself then, as someone with a full-time job and a kid. It's so hard to actually find time.
If you've got a kid, then fair enough. Like Virtue, he's done an incredible job of it, and you do as well, because it's unpredictable.
Yeah.
You don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And life's unpredictable anyway. Let alone having a kid as well. It's gonna be rough. But no, I do not have a child.
No, indeed.
To be fair, Mellar, I mean, the best part of your stream, without trying to sound like a dick, is tea time. All right? Just saying. Rest of it's shit. I only come for tea time.
I knew you were going to say that, though. Yeah, fair enough. He's the star of the show, after all. But going back to the, like what we could sort of say is the bare minimum is, it's literally just make sure that, you don't have to make it sound and look perfect, but just make sure that it doesn't sound or look terrible. Have alerts so that you, if nothing else, so that when something's happened, if someone's followed, hosted, raided. Because the worst thing is if you get raided, or if you raid someone and they don't even realize. And I've been there. I've joined other people's raids and they haven't even realized. It's so uncomfortable, and people will dip so quickly if you do that as well. You need to, you need to at least not acknowledge the raid and all that kind of thing. The only other thing I would say is, there's probably a few. You'd need a chat bot, really. There's a few chat commands that I would say are probably bare minimum. The shout out command, absolutely required. I would say, like even going live for the first.
It's common
time.
respect and the thing to do, isn't it, nowadays?
Yeah. But also, it's worth just having, like, if you've got a Twitter, !Twitter, not one that spams chat every 5 minutes, but one that people can use, if they want your Twitter handle. Because I've done this myself, as doing this show. But also sometimes, 'cause I don't do it quite as much as I used to, but I used to quite like doing like thank yous at the end on Twitter. Be like thanking, thank you this person for doing this, and then I'd always say who I raided. So I would want their Twitter handle.
Yeah.
And then I'd go in !Twitter, nothing happens.
Mm.
And then I have to sort of search around for it and all this kind of thing. So I think it's worth having things like that that are just there if someone wants it. You don't want it so that it's going to like spam chat or anything. And from there, I mean, would you think any other? I don't think there's any like really required
I think there's
commands.
a few Twitch etiquette things that you probably need to learn. Is don't go in other streamers' chats and spam your
Yeah,
Twitch link.
yeah,
Or what
absolutely. Or
those are
even
little things that people do, and I still see it.
yeah,
Watch my
Yeah.
stream, and while they're live as well. If you're live, why are you watching somebody else's stream? Like you should be watching. You should be focused on your stream. Like those are little things that you probably it's common sense, but common sense isn't always that common. So
Mm.
yeah,
Yeah, I
absolutely.
agree.
I feel like we've managed to talk about that for like I don't know, however long that was, and not really answer the question between the three of us. But it's one of those ones. It's very difficult, isn't it? There's no real there's no real conclusion to the question. In terms of what's the right amount of background stuff. Because I've seen people that I enjoy watching that have had both not enough and too much.
yeah,
Because I have had conversation with people occasionally when it's like they're like, oh, it's nice to be approached sometimes. They approach me for advice. Oh, should I do this? Should I do this? And I've even said to a couple of people once or twice, I was like, I think you're overthinking it. Just have fun with it.
yeah, have fun. A little other few things would be like what's one thing that you hate while you're streaming? Have you I suppose if you do you stream with other people? Have you ever done that? Other streamers?
Yeah.
I usually try and steer away from it. I have done it
Yeah.
occasionally, but it
So
can be very problematic.
one thing that annoys me is the chat spill. Like when somebody's talking to their chat and you're talking to your chat.
Yeah.
I went out and purposely bought a mouse with a mute button, a side button, so I could mute my Discord while I'm talking to chat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that does my head in.
Yeah. There's a lot of
It's
people that
just
don't have that. Yeah.
they just talk to their chat, and you're like, you talking to me? And yeah, it's just.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think, like you said, there's not really a right answer
Yeah.
to
Yeah, that's
the
funny
overall
actually you said
question.
that. There was a experience I had recently where I was watching someone who I don't watch that often, and they were playing with other people on Discord, which is fine. But then they were playing. I can't remember what game they were playing, but it was a game that you play the game and then you go back to the lobby. And they
Right.
went back to the lobby and they were having a bit of a break. And so
Yeah.
the streamer went, sort of had okay, we'll have a bit of a chat with my community on Twitch, which is great. That's exactly what you want with those kind of breaks. But they left Discord on in the background, so the whole time that the streamer was talking to their chat, you can hear these other people just talking amongst themselves on Discord. I'm like,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah, push the mute button. on
Yeah,
your mouse.
honestly,
Just bind it.
yeah, just turn it off.
Yeah, because that's something I've learned. Because playing FPS games and a few multiplayer games,
Yeah.
I have had a lot of fun doing that sort of
Yeah.
thing. And trying to talk to your stream while playing a video game, while talking to your friends, and if they stream as well, becomes another issue, and they just don't even consider thinking about that.
Yeah,
It's, I don't know. rough.
I have definitely seen because like Discord etiquette is actually quite. It's a lot more involved than you think. When you're both streaming, Discord etiquette is kind of crazy, and I've seen it before when a friend of mine was streaming with a bigger streamer, and the bigger streamer just didn't mute the microphone when they were talking to their chat,
Of
and
course.
Mhm.
it made the smaller streamers stream almost entirely unwatchable. To be honest
Yeah.
with you, it was it's not ideal. Yeah.
Just have no
Some people-
friends. It's easier. Just no
Yeah,
friends.
just have no friends. I agree. Just
Yeah.
Yeah.
fuck 'em all
Live
off.
life solo. It's much easier. Yeah.
One more sort of thing though. Do you watch your VODs back at all? Okay, insane.
I do.
See,
Because
go on.
I think it's important. I don't do it so much at the moment because I feel like I'm quite in a comfortable place.
Yeah.
Because when I speak, because the thing like the Go XLR and stuff, I can hear my own voice in my headphones when I speak, so
Yeah.
I know that my voice is working,
Yes.
or if I'm muted and stuff. But Yeah, I don't do it as much at the moment, but I used to do it quite a lot.
Yeah.
After every stream, I think.
See, I think that goes into the whole thing. I like a lot of people won't watch their own VODs because they think it's, I don't know, narcissistic or something, and they don't like their own voice. And I can
Yes,
get the whole
that's
thing about
common.
not liking your own voice. Nobody likes their own voice. But you have to get over it because honestly,
Some
watching your
people
own
do a
VOD.
little bit too much.
Yeah, what?
Some people do a little bit too
Like
much.
it's a bit too much, yeah.
You know.
But you have to watch. You have to watch at least some of your own VOD because that's how you do the growing. Like you say that there's a certain amount of things that we've just discussed that should probably be the bare minimum when you first go live. The rest of it you can add later. And the best way that you can know what you need to add and what you need to take away and what you need to fix is to watch your own VOD back. And I mean, I don't know about you. I've literally sat down before watching my VOD with pen and paper and written notes and then action those notes. And then that's a
I
really
make
good way.
mental notes, but never.
I'm really bad with mental notes because I never remember them. But yeah,
Oh, I
and-
can't read my notes. I remember them. It's fine.
honestly, I mean, it may
I
not
did
be the
wanna-
quickest way to grow
Yeah.
as a streamer. There's probably other ways to grow quicker, but it is a very solid way to make sure that every single, maybe not every single time you go live, but every week, let's say, you've improved at least something. And then if you improve one little thing every single week, you know, there's what, 52 weeks in a year. By the time a year is gone, the whole stream's going to be completely different.
Yeah,
Better.
absolutely. I did want to talk about Onion because I think I said about hiding your view account and just not having it up, and he mentioned that it was so hard.
Hmm.
And I was curious as to what it can be hard, but looking at that view account will affect your stream and the way you stream and the way you sort of have fun.
Yeah.
Just do it for you, if anything, I suppose, and just have it off.
Yeah.
I
Oh, I
think
see what you
it's really
mean.
important.
Onion. I see what you mean. I have my viewer account up most of the time, if I'm honest. I do keep an eye on it. And I've tried
Honest,
streaming
right.
without it, and I can't. And to be honest with you, I've actually sat and thought about this, the reason why. And you know that kind of feeling that you get sometimes when there's like no one watching you. And do you know what I'm saying, AK? And that's why you hide your that's why you hide your view account because you don't want to know when there's not necessarily
Yeah, I
anyone
don't want to
watching you.
know.
Right.
I don't want people to tell me either. Like,
But no, it is rude to obviously go into a stream and like mention how many people are watching. But what I find is that I'll have quite a few lurkers. So sometimes I could have a view account that's, you know, 10, 15 or whatever, but then no one's talking. But then if I've got the view account hidden and no one's talking, I get that feeling like no one's watching.
yeah. Yeah.
So therefore, I actually I made the decision after trying it that I did want the view account up because at least if the view account is showing me an okay number, even if no one's talking in chat, then I can at least know in myself, okay, there are people watching, they're just lurking, which is fine.
Yeah.
And I can sort of go with that.
Okay.
And yeah, it is a mind game. It's literally like it's literally playing a mind game with myself, and I've tried both, and basically my mind doesn't like it when it's turned off.
Yeah. So yeah, like you've experienced sort of both sides, sort of thing, I guess. So
Yeah.
I think that's fine because you've kind of you have it in your head. But if you're new to streaming and stuff, I think it can have a mental effect. But
Yeah.
if you can override that and be comfortable,
Yeah.
if you're comfortable, I think that if you're comfortable with the amount of viewers that you see, that's fine.
Yeah.
But I think if you're expecting a lot more people than or whatever, and you haven't got those numbers, then that can be quite crushing.
Yeah.
If you do look at that sort of thing, so
I think the real secret.
It's good to be mindful.
Yeah.
At least.
I think the real secret, and I've definitely said this multiple times, is it doesn't matter how many people are actually watching you. You have to act like there's like 100 or 1,000 people watching you. And that's, you know, because obviously if you're acting like there's nobody watching because there is no one watching, but then someone comes in, half the time you won't even know that they've been there until they've gone because the viewer count does not update immediately. It's actually got quite a long delay on it sometimes. So if you're just sitting there in silence because you know that there's no one watching, but then actually for a few seconds there was, and you could have kept them if you'd have been, you know, acting like there was more people there, which is why you don't just sit in silence playing a game unless you are literally in the top 0.01% percentile.
Yeah, yeah. It is like people will come and go if you're sat there in silence and just
Yep.
just playing a game. Like, yeah, not very likely people are going to stay.
Hmm.
I think I mean I'm done. Have you got any? You guys got anything more to say on the subject at all?
No, I think I came up with a few things that just sort of popped into the head while we were talking and discussing. I
Yeah.
think I'm good.
It worked out really well in the end. Actually, I think by the end of that segment, we all input something really interesting. So thank you all very much for that.
The key thing with an overlay in production is it's always inevitably going to stray off to various different angles and aspects of streaming anyway, whether it's your like we was talking about the voice qualities and stuff like that, or pre-recording yourself. It's all stems out to that. So no matter what we've talked about, even with the tips and advice, still going to derive mainly from overlay and production value, because that is a key facet that people see as a first impression anyway, and then it'll be your personality.
Well, there's certainly a way of having a cake and eating it as well. And we were talking about the clean overlay and stuff. Because I mean, one of the things that I've kind of done, which I feel is kind of a cheat, but it works really well, is I have a scene that has a big overlay and one that doesn't. And the one with the big overlay, because at some point you're probably going to want chat up on screen if someone says something hilarious that you're referring directly to. So then you have a different scene, and you can switch between them. And I mean, a lot of people will use a Stream Deck for that, but there are free options. There's free alternatives to a Stream Deck, and then you can just you have a nice clean overlay, and then switch to the other screen when as and when the stream calls for it. So it's not necessarily like a black and white one or the other. You can absolutely have both.
Consider yourself satisfied.